day, everyone. Welcome back to Aaaim Alumni Leadership Podcast Series, Season 2, the edition that will feature all the 2025 Triple A Awardees. This is CJ Hassan of MBM 1988.
And Paula Balinas of MBA 2014.
This episode offers a wealth of insights and experiences from our esteemed guests from the roster of the 2025 Triple A Awardees.
Yes, of course.
Reminder.
How could I forget,
Yes,
right?
they have a friendly
Quick reminder to all of our viewers, right? Just wanted to let you know that you can catch all our episodes in our Facebook and YouTube channel for our AIM Leadership Podcast.
All right, let's get the show on the road. Let me first make a formal introduction of our guest today. This is episode 3. Mr. Dani Firmansjah is a prominent figure in Indonesia's finance sector, known for his exceptional leadership and remarkable achievements across various roles with the multi-finance industry. With over 40 years of experience, he established himself as an authority in financial management, corporate restructuring, and crisis leadership. And he will talk to us about that later. He has held various leadership positions, most notably as the CEO of PT Saseca, Gelora Finance, SGF, during the Asian financial crisis. In addition to his role in SGF, Mr. Firmansjah played a pivotal role in the growth of PT IFS Capital Indonesia. His commitment to corporate social responsibility has led to initiatives that focus on financial literacy and support for SMEs in underserved regions. His involvement in global Christian ministries further highlights his well-rounded approach to leadership. He's an active participant in organizations such as the Full Gospel Businessman's Fellowship International, Faith Comes by Hearing, Campus Crusade for Christ, and the Ignite movement. Currently, Mr. Firmansjah serves as the President Commissioner for Aditama Finance, Estadana Ventura, and Caltimex Energy. He's also a member of the Board of Directors at PT Buana Finance, TBK, Busan Auto Finance, and Smart Multifinance. Friends, let us welcome Dani Dennis Firmansjah from MM 1994. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, and thank you for accepting the invitation.
Thank you.
To be in episode 3 of season 2 of the AIM Alumni Leadership Podcast.
My pleasure.
All right, let's kick off the questions.
Yeah, so thank you again, Dennis, echoing
Yes.
what CJ mentioned, right? So we usually start by having a trip down memory lane, right? So I'm sure that you graduated from AIM way back of 1990s. We'd like to understand, right?
Way back.
No, not so way back, right? But a trip down memory lane for us to better understand what inspired you, what motivated you to enroll in AIM.
Well, actually, it is on scholarship of my previous employer,
Okay.
something that I cannot reject when they offered me the scholarship to study here at AIM. Why? Because my former boss was also graduate from this school
Okay.
in the 70s. I did not recall the exact year, but he was one of the graduate from this school. So because of that, probably it is good for me to study here also. And I don't have any degree before this. So
Okay.
I only
Interesting.
have I call it a diploma or
Okay.
something like that. So it is an opportunity, and also it is sort of like a challenge whether or not I can overcome all the pressure or the challenges that I need to face. As you know, that we all have the same experience in the schools, but that's the beginning of it. So the pressure is high because I cannot fail, definitely. So I need to pass and need to do the best in this program, which is of course not easy. And it is the determination that I can make it, actually, not because I'm part of the what you call the genius or whatever, but the determination not to fail. I think that's about it.
Okay. Still on throwback. So is there a particular professor, classmate, project, incident that made a mark with you, a lasting impact during your stay here in 1994? You came in 1994. 93 and
1993.
graduated in
Yeah.
1994.
Well, of course, I love all my professors. There are some that I love more.
Just like all of us.
Yeah, and it is pretty human, I believe. And there are some professor which probably need more attention when I ask question or something like that. But definitely, I learn a lot from them. My objective at that time was that how much I can get from these professors and also, of course, from the classmates. That's the only, because I know the time is so short, right? It's only 13 months, if I'm not wrong. And I know my weakness. So I need just to focus on whatever they taught us. I never missed the class, I think, so far I remember. And I stay at the dome, so I don't commute,
That's right.
but again, most of the time I put my effort on the MRR because I know without it we cannot pass, right? So I really focus much on it, on MRR. That's why from the deadline in April, I can get accomplished 3 months earlier. So in January, my MRR already fully signed by all the professors. So that's maybe something which is, well, learning for everyone who are studying here. It is something that putting the priority to the best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the topic about learning, right? So I think what's exciting about this season 2 Siege is we're expanding our guests to our international alumni,
Right.
right? So maybe from the lens of an alumni, you studying here in AIM, were there any challenges that you encountered and how did you overcome it?
There are many challenges, to be honest. As I said earlier, I know my weakness. Like, for example, my English is not as good as my other friends. And I believe that I have to work even harder, right? I didn't do well on my WAC, the reading analysis of
yes.
cases, to be honest.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I didn't do well.
Okay.
And I saw my friends, they with HP, high pass,
Right.
something like that. I'm so happy if I got already LP or P. So, but that's gonna be my what you call my trigger on how to be doing better. That's the only
It's interesting that you mentioned that you didn't do well or you did do well.
didn't do well.
Didn't do
He
well
was happy
with
with
the
the
WAC.
P and
Yeah.
LP.
But he pursued the finance in finance, right? So interesting to learn more about, you struggling with the WAC, but ended up with the Korean finance. And
Maybe finance is not his. Well, that was his strength.
Well, no, it's okay. I think because I started in quote unquote the finance business, or maybe at that time we call it the leasing business in Indonesia,
Okay.
because only heavy equipment financing, printing machine financing, textile machineries financing. Because at that time the demand, not the demand, maybe the car financing is not as much as popular like today.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot also with the help of my former boss. He's British, and when he interviewed me, he exactly know that I don't have any experience in finance or leasing or whatever. I only do marketing, and then I still remember what he said. Okay, I make a good try in 3 months. If you are not up to quote unquote the standard, then basically I have to quit, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah. Well,
But you were up to standard, so you continued. High pass.
yes.
I passed.
High pass.
Exactly.
And on that, I think probably again because of my determination, I need to be learning from him as much as I can, because that's the only way, right? I
Yep.
cannot buy the experience.
That's right.
So rather than I'm just trying to be be stubborn of myself, then it's okay. I have to. So in my heart, I say, okay, I need to learn from you as much as you can, because he's a very experienced person, over 20 years at that time.
So he was like a mentor to you.
He was, yes.
So let's talk about your your corporate career. It's impressive. I saw a lot of the companies and you've been around for, been working for 40 years. So what are the pivotal moments in your career? What would you say are the highlights of your being a finance person in
Yeah,
Indonesia?
thank you. Basically, when you are entering the finance or multi-finance business, it's actually you are dealing with risk. Although you are in the sort of like marketing or business development, whatever name, officer or something like that. But what you are dealing actually risk. So then, of course, I study hard on how to understand the magnitude of what meant by risk. Because when you lend the financing or quote unquote the lend money, the day you lend the money, then you have to be monitoring the payment from your borrowers, right? So it's not like maybe like selling a car in the showroom and then okay, once people buy it and then you're done, you finish. But in this business, you have to really look, quote unquote, if they don't pay on time or something like that, you need to follow up or something like that. So it is the responsibility on the risk factor. I hope it is sufficient.
Yeah, I'm just interesting because one of our speakers earlier, right, they were sharing that one of her tips for a successful career is know what you're passionate about, know what you're strong at, and doubling down on that. You shared earlier that there was a bit of a transition, right? You being more of a marketing person and then becoming more inclined towards finance.
Yep.
Just wanted to understand the thought process, right? What made you decide to go full on finance?
Thank you. I think that's a good question. And I feel at that time, this is the best moment for my career because at that time, there are not many people who really in that field actually. So I said, if I can do well, then my career opportunity would be much bigger and wider. And that's why I continue to focus on what I'm doing and a lot of opportunity at that time. So that's why in that company, I only stay for 2 years because another company, basically at that time, it was an American company, one of the subsidiary of American bank at that time, which opened the company in Indonesia with the local partners. So quote unquote, I was hijacked at that time by the headhunting company. So that's maybe the starting point of my career
In finance.
Yeah.
In finance,
yes,
from making a transition.
yes.
So it is possible, Siege,
It
right?
is. It is possible. Just have the aptitude for it and the willingness.
Yes,
Correct.
You were in Indonesia during the Asian financial crisis.
yes.
What were your greatest lessons from that crisis?
It was really plenty of learning. I call it learning thing because when I joined another company, actually, not because of the 2 year step, there's another company because on that company, which hijacked me, I spent about 11 years only. When I left, already my position was a quote unquote a business director. So when I joined the other company, is 97, was offered the position of vice CEO, vice president director, because the president director also graduate from Aaaim, a friend of my previous boss in the other companies before this one. So when I came in as a vice president director, towards the end, no, in the second semester of 1997. So the crisis started we feel this crisis, I think, towards October 1997. Then, of course, we need to look into the portfolio because we concentrated on corporate, basically a wholesale financing. Then it happened 1998, the crisis happened, and then my previous boss at that time, because his contract was in USD, so not extended, then I became the CEO or the president director during the hard time. And of course, all the responsibility become my responsibility. Not an easy one.
The crisis taught you what?
Oh, so many things. Like, for example, the easiest one. Before crisis, most of the contracts are basically for crisis in rupiah currency.
Right.
And nearing crisis, but maybe 2 years before crisis, because of I think at that time US dollars is so cheap and everything. So some of them the borrow converted into US dollars, but it is not hedged. So the exposure will be in USD. And when the crisis came, yeah, we know, everyone knows that then the rupiah to USD overshooting by so many times.
Right.
So that's the biggest mistake that one can have. So I always encourage my friend. I said, when you do other than rupiah, make sure the exposure is fully hedged. You can't make quote unquote stupid mistake on this one. That's the biggest probably the downside of the learning at that time of during the crisis.
Yeah, you talk about crisis, right? And during those times, it's a very stressful situation. And you were the leader of that organization. Maybe we'd like to understand, right? In crisis situations, very stressful environments, how do you manage stress, right? And still think right?
Wow, this is a very expensive question. Okay, what I'll do, I'll look into the portfolio. Then I make a sort of quick review whether this particular account or contract will belongs to quote unquote good or low risk type of category. And then out of that, I look into the other account which are not paying on time, and I look into the industry they are in, what are the possible exposure of risk that the company need to face or something like that. So make some of them are very deep analysis, but some of them I just look into, okay, this is considered safe because it's already so many years. We know who are the borrower quite close, something like that. So really look into the quality issue of the portfolio.
Yeah, it's good. I think that's one of the lessons we learn in AIM, right? Like take a bird's eye view.
Yep.
You know, what are the
Yep.
problems, what
Right.
are
It
the
is.
potential risks, and going deep down and understanding how to de-risk situations, right?
And take it without emotion. Review it without emotion. Clinical.
Yes. And of course, during that time, we remember, particularly me, remember all the cases that we learned. Oh yeah,
Real life applications.
yeah. This is the real one. And then I remember the professor who taught us or something like that. So again, to me, that probably the most valuable experience that I am having, and that is very timely for us to understand why we need to have like 5 cases a day, and then one case is half page, and then the other cases is like
Oh,
big
yes.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand how can we also read that case that thick.
So it's the rigor.
The variety of
Yeah,
cases.
it's
So
the rigor.
this is to me, is very rich.
Yeah. It really sharpens your thought process, right? More than the answers,
That
it's really
rigor of
Precisely. We are not Superman or whatever, but then we know that during that time.
which brings me 40 years in finance, face the Asian financial
Mm.
crisis. So what is important? IQ, intelligence quotient, or EQ, emotional quotient?
Well, to be honest, both are important.
Okay.
The difference is when you use I
All right.
and when you use E.
Can you expound on that?
Yeah, jadi in reality is in a certain situation you have to use your I,
Okay. Your IQ.
making decision and then understand the industry much better, look forward or something like that, and why this happened, why the quality deteriorating and something like that, what makes the contract not paying on time, what are the reasons for that. But on the other hand, we also face with the situation that basically we look from various different angle, but we didn't know the reason why it happened, quote unquote, bad like that. So then you have to put your emotion down, and then of course you are not happy as a person, as a CEO. Definitely you are not happy that you think that your colleague in the office not doing their best or whatever, but then it's a combination of sometimes we just have to tone down our again our emotion just to not make a what you call decision unnecessarily, which is will affect the company. So that's my experience. Yeah.
Okay. The interesting part about our podcast is it comes to, as mentioned earlier, it comes from two points of view, a baby boomer and a millennial. So let's start off with Paulo's questions.
Yeah, so maybe for the younger audience listening in, right? You've had a very, very successful career in finance, right? So maybe if you could share what are the characteristics or traits that these young individuals that you believe must develop to have a successful career as well.
Well, first of all, I think we need to value the most is the importance of time. For example, if you meet with somebody, whoever they are, actually, your customer or your boss or maybe your colleague or subordinate or whoever, be on time.
Punctuality.
Punctuality. That is to me very important because if you are I mean, if I'm the son of the boss or the rich man, maybe if I came late, people still respect me or whatever because because his father is blah blah blah. But when you are known to nobody, then you have to just seeing people with that kind of attitude. Secondly, is the integrity. The integrity is something uncompromised thing you have to have on this kind of industry because once our reputation tarnished, so it is finished.
Yeah.
So basically, well, of course, there are other elements which is also important, but these two, my own personal experience, are the most important.
Yeah, I think Warren Buffett might have said, right? Like it takes decades to build a reputation, but only
Yep.
one incident to
Yes.
completely destroy that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe a follow-up question, right? So I wanted to hear your thoughts because for the younger generation, it's been more a common norm for us to jump multiple different corporations, right? And gain experience to higher ranks. What's your thoughts? Would it make more sense, right? For an individual to stay loyal to company, work their way up, or times have changed and it's more acceptable to move to different companies.
I think by time we'll understand also some maybe during my old days, if you stay in one company for a longer time is considered best. I don't know for the younger generation now. But I have a simple, I don't know whether I call it rule or maybe just philosophy. I said to a lot of my friends, because I know some of them staying over but 20 years or whatever. I said, okay, to me, I said, if anything beyond 15 years, I said, either you are so good in that particular organization or no one like you. That's why you can stay long. But if a lot of people like you, maybe 5, 6 years, you want to move to jump with another experience or something like that. But of course, I said it depends. Some people that need to be more stability. They like environment which are stable or something like that. I don't mind for people like myself. I 1 or 2 company I only short.
What's your average stay?
My average maybe not more than 6, 7 years.
Sweet spot, 6 or 7 years. Yeah.
The 7-year itch.
I call it the 7 series.
Ah, at least we have some benchmarks for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe one last question before I hand
Sure,
over to
sure.
you, Siege, right? So another topic, right, is about being a generalist or a specialist.
Yep.
So there's two schools of thought. Some say that, it's best to acquire multiple skill sets versus others is doubling down on where you're strong at. Would love to hear your thoughts, right, on what would be the best approach for you.
One is generalist, and then the other one, what you say?
Specialist.
Specialist. To me, both are important.
Okay, but in the same intensity.
Could be different.
Okay.
Sometimes you like it or not in your career, in every position that you are in, I'm not sure if people only can focus on one. Probability, yes, maybe when you are so low rank in the organization, you just need to specialize on what you're doing or something like that. But once you achieve a certain position, particularly the higher position, maybe on generalist is more what you call more portion, and then the specialist will be because like this, for example, if you are a CEO, and of course you don't need to take care of small little thing, but when things happen that nobody in the organization really as good as you are, for example, a certain issue, then you need to be a specialist. You don't like it, of course, but you still need to do it. Otherwise, nobody can take care of it.
Uh, I
It's
think that's
situational.
yeah.
Yeah.
The most common answer in NBA, it depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
It's situational.
Situational.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I like that the progression. Like you build your reputation about a specific domain,
Right.
and as you progress, it's a
Yep.
matter of developing more skills and being a generalist. So thank
Because
you for that.
yeah, the generalist needs a lot of more experience looking from different aspect. It's not easy, right? Is it okay?
No, no, it's not. It's not easy. Definitely.
He's building his career. That's why he's trying to.
All right, no problem.
He's
Okay.
building his career as a millennial. So he's looking at that journey that he will take. How many years have you been working?
13 years already we're working. Yeah.
To-
A lot more to go. A lot more to
A
go.
lot more.
You
To,
will love more, particularly in this current what you call AI situation, and then digital and everything about it. You know, you like it or not, have to be on top of it.
and that's a great segue to my
Exactly.
that was a great segue. Which brings me to the topic of baby boomers like me.
Mm.
Okay. He's growing his career. I'm already fully retired. So what do you advise to seniors who are actually near retirement, about to retire, is retired, on how to deal with the new world around us, whether it's AI, hybrid work, multi-generational work teams, digital technology, social media. What's your advice to them?
All
I
right.
think you're Gen Xer.
First of all, I think I would like to quote what Lee Kuan Yew said when he's still alive,
Which is,
which is, "Do not retire when you are." I underline this, still healthy.
oh, okay. That's a good one.
So on that, like in my case, you know, I'm pretty lucky because on a certain age level, then I come to also like retirement or this thing, and then suddenly it came with another opportunity, and also because probably I'm active in the association of the finance industry, so people know me a lot and something like that. But again, keep on learning. That's the best thing to do. You don't want to say talk to people and then say, what is he talking about? And you don't want that to happen. Learning and learning. Of course, it's not easy, but my only suggestion, keep on learning.
We're smiling because many of our podcast guests keep on saying that as
Yep.
the advice to my generation.
Yeah. So I think you can see a pattern seeds, right? Like these successful individuals incorporated learning in
Right.
their day to day.
Right. The other elephant in the room question of my generation would be succession planning.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
In the beginning, I was so negative about the term succession planning.
Why?
Maybe earlier stage because I don't understand about it or something like that. But over time, then I learned that it is something that the company must do, particularly company with this bigger in size, complexity, and everything like that. We don't want to happen seeing, say, one CEO. I'm sorry to say this, tomorrow suddenly gone, whether he resigned or he got accident or he passed away. It's always process that we need to do on the part of the succession planning. people might in the beginning might think, oh, maybe they want to replace me or whatever. But that kind of what you call impression is pretty for me. It's pretty normal, and sometimes we think, are they going to replace me? Because to be honest, I got terminated a lot in my other company also. And suddenly I was called by the shareholders. He said they would like to have a chat with me. And then suddenly said basically he asked me, they call it the shareholder asked me to leave after how many years? 9 years. Then I asked the question, is there any mistake that I did that makes that decision? Well, because I know even without mistake, the shareholder can terminate me anytime because of that level is not like the manager level or something like. And he didn't say anything. So I said, tell me so that I can improve what I did wrong. I know you can't change your decision, but at least you let me know what mistake I. Well, of course, maybe a lot. I said, but the bigger one, the significant one. And he was just silent. And then basically, then I know I didn't do the bad things. So then I move on.
They
And
couldn't
then
say anything. No mistake.
I am amazed at the candor regarding talking about termination as part of your career. So you always, when that happens, what's your immediate reaction? Because it happens. It's a reality that not many people talk about.
it was very sad, to be honest, because I have 2 kids already. I didn't.
Okay.
Then when I arrived home, then my wife asked, how's the meeting? How's the dinner? I said, bad news. What? What bad news? Yeah, I have to leave the organization. So my wife even asked, what mistake have you done? Okay. The next morning, I talked to my dad. Dad, I'm gonna miss the work because of the shareholders don't want to have me anymore. Again, the same question my dad asked at that time. What mistake have you done? But then it happened. But again, back to reputation. Not long after that, a week, just in a week after that, I got a new job.
Better plans. But it's really very inspiring, Siege, because most people, if they're faced with that situation,
Right.
right, they take it personal. They
Exactly.
take it out on the company. But I love the attitude. Like you were humble enough to ask, what did I do wrong, right? And decided to move forward. And luckily enough, within a week span, you already have a new job waiting for you, right?
It's the humility and faith that there'll be something better.
Yes, you are right. And then I think during entire course of my life, at least 2, 3 times I lost my job. But then it's always a way because to me, I believe time to come and time to go.
Okay.
With whatever
Time to
way,
come and time to go.
you cannot be in the organization for the entire of your life.
Right.
Say 100 years probably, or even 50 years. Just make it into something. When you are there, you do your best, you perform the best you can. If they don't like you, then come, no problem.
It's a learning
You can move on.
experience. It's a learning experience.
And of course, it goes with the what you call the position, a good company car, a BMW, blah blah blah.
Yes.
So doesn't matter. It will
It will come
the
back.
new employee will suit that because also that's probably the standard of the. So don't worry. Life, I always say it like this: life is difficult. Don't make it more difficult.
Words to
I like
live
that.
by.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll wind down the conversation.
Sure.
This is more about legacy, right? So, given everything you've done in the past 40 years, how would you like to be remembered? If there was a tombstone, what will it be?
I want to be remembered as somebody like you, for example, seeing my tombstone. I'm more than happy, and with both of you saying, I know this guy.
Nice. Pao, your favorite
Yeah.
question?
So know this guy and the impact that you've imparted to us, right?
That's
And
right.
the learnings, lessons. Yeah.
Because really how you've affected other people's lives
Correct.
at the end of the day.
Fantastic. Great. So for me, this is a standard question we always ask. And for me, the most interesting, right? So if you were to, given the special ability to talk to your 21-year-old self, right? What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
Our audience is laughing.
That's tough. Maybe just one reminder is keep silly, but keep on learning.
I like the combination. Keep silly and keep on learning.
There's a common theme, right? Always keep learning, right?
Yeah.
So
The silly is the new one. That's a new input. That's a good one. Okay, our last question would be,
Yes.
what message would you like to give people who look up to you as a source of inspiration?
I wish that everyone who knows me during a good time or even a bad time, they will remember that I have no bad intention to them. I always do sincerely on what I'm doing. It might not be perfect, but I'll do it to the most I can with a simple philosophy because I love people so much, irrespective of any what you call strata or position in the community. The most lowest person or the best ever what you call high ranking person, I respect them the same because human is human. They need respect, and if I want to be respected, I need to respect others. As simple as that.
Which is the golden rule. And on that note, thank you very much, Dennis, for
Thank you.
sharing. Very inspiring, very candid. And I hope our audience will pick up lessons that they can take on in their lives. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. I'm CJ Sena, MBM 1988.
Paolo Balinas, MBA 2014.
And we'll see you again for season 2 of Aim Alumni Leadership Podcast Series. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.